I'm going to talk about spiritual concepts of Christianity, Jesus Christ, and the tunnel of light, and as well as the matrix. Okay, I've been informed by those lost souls. They are being trapped in the tunnel of light. When people passed on, they see a tunnel of light. This is actually a matrix control system, all right, controlled by some of these uh, dark entities. Is probably called Lucifer, or they call themselves the architect. Okay, so these people, they think that they are crossing over to the light or to the heavens, but they did not. They are trapped in these portals of tunnel of light, but this is not pureness of light. It's probably something like LED light, and so they have been going through some of these sound frequencies of hypersonic harp frequencies that is going to change their body, their soul constructs, to make them forget who they are, to make them unable to continue their spiritual journey, or to disrupt their soul evolution, right? So they are unable to go home to the cosmic home, to heavens, right? So for many lifetimes, souls get recycled in this way, right? So this is why a lot of souls do not go back home because of the matrix. Okay, so this is why we cannot go through this tunnel of light. This is actually a portal that is patented. Okay, so recently I actually decommissioned this kind of portals. So this is why a lot of souls get released out from all these portals. And also, over many years, they have been manifesting old souls from the Akashic records. But these entities, they are rich, they were actually dead already, um, but they did not go back to the heavens. Like I said, they passed through the tunnels of light. These people who believe in Christianity, but Christianity is actually hijacked. Okay, these are not true beliefs from the heavens. Okay, the Bible is being written by these entities like the Anunnakis or Lucifer. Okay, these are not true religions, like anything that involves Israel. Okay, there are a lot of spells around Israel. Okay, witchcrafts are being practiced in Israel or some other religions of the Abrahamic religions, like is Christianity, right? Judaism, right? Islam. So all these are not of pure light, right? If anyone want to do their spiritual work, it's really not to go into any of these religious practices or texts. We need to have some discernment. There are some light in the materials, but it's not the highest light. We need to have that discernment for ourselves. We need to break the matrix first before we can get into connection with the light, with pureness of or highest light. So there are a lot of wars going on in this celestial world. So it does not mean that we fight the matrix, we can get to the purest, highest light. Okay, they may be also suffering. We do not know the exact situation, but we are all fighting this kind of wars, right? Using sound frequencies. Okay, so this tunnel of light is not the pureness of light. Okay, so if you see like, oh, loved ones calling you, oh, let's go to heaven, I'll bring you there, or I will guide you there, it is not. It is simply using technology, using hologram, right, to trick people, to trick souls, right, going to all these portals, right? In these portals, they are going to change your program of your souls, you know. So when souls reincarnate, they go into bodies, all right. It may not be your own original soul when you are being created, so you may tend to forget who you are. This is the reason why souls do not remember, right? Because there are programs placed onto your soul body, right, in your soul spirit's consciousness. So this is why we need to know how to clear all these before we remember who we are, before we can even go home, or to at least break the matrix, right? To exit the matrix so that we can be home. Some people assume that they are already home, but it may be a hologram that they are in, right? So we have to need we need to have our own inner authority, right? We cannot rely on anything external outside of us to advise us, right? We need to take a pinch of salt in order to discern, right? There may be some good advice, right? But we need to listen to our own inner authority, our own inner truth, right? Our intuition. But sometimes some of these aliens, they can be hijacking our body, right? Hijacking our intuition, right? So we need to use multiple senses, right, to decipher what is the truth, whether we are aligned to a source of information that is of light, that is precise, that's accurate, that is from the light. So if you hear messages of general messages, they may not be of light, right? So entities like Jesus, right, Mother Mary, they are not of the highest light. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they are of spells. Okay, they are not any ascended being. So if you read the Bible or we come across those teachings, what did Jesus do? He is the one who invented wine, coming up with concepts of bread. Okay, bread is what? Bread is carbohydrates. All right, if we take on a lot of carbohydrates, like such as staples of rice, it's going to create habits of, we need to eat very full in order to have the energy. But it ends up that we have a lot of those shit, coming out of our body. But if we choose a more healthier way, eating vegetables, right, fruits, right, we have a lighter weight, right? It will result in our body being lighter. It will not feel so dense and heavy, right? Our body construct will be very different. The way we think and behave will be different. We may be more able to connect with our creator, right? So rice is also converting to glucose that can be a strain to our pancreas, right? That can block insulin production, right? Inhibit the insulin production that creates what you call it, diabetes, all right, type 1, type 2. All right, so eating too much carbohydrates is not good for us. All right, another thing is about wine, alcohol, right? This is actually blocking our spiritual connections, right? This is why those religions, they actually, they know the teachings from source, not to drink alcohol, but they will tell the humans not to drink, rather to drink, right? So they create characters like Jesus, right, to invent wine, telling people it's safe to drink, right? To drink wine, right? Red wine, or they will tell you it's tonic, but actually it's not. It's blocking your spiritual senses. It's numbing your body. It's causing spells, right? It is hypnotic, right? It's a kind of addictions, right? That people, get addicted to alcohol, right? So they even hijack this flower essence, essential oil to hijack the light workers, right? So we need to wake up, to all these kind of control mechanisms, right? So all these people who are manifested out from all these portals, these are recycled souls that are being programmed to believe in Jesus to be their savior, but he is not a savior at all.